Hello, class! We have some new students joining our academic family today. Let me introduce Fresh Rye,
Eh,
Miki Bandy,
What?
Nestle,
Hey, hey, hey.
and Road Safety MP3.
Lasagna.
I expect all of you to make them feel at home. Now let's get started.
Eat my farts.
Not, not in my classroom.
Oh, well, so you do it at home then?
I don't get paid enough to do this.
Okay, with that intro out of the way, hello and welcome to the Wacky Deli podcast, the first episode of the Wacky Deli podcast, where we talk all things millennials love, like cartoons and Disney movies and avocado toast and not being able to afford anything.
And coconut oil.
Oh yeah,
Lasagna.
yeah, lasagna. Because we love Garfield here, but we're not talking about Garfield. We're talking about another kind of field, Arnold Field, a Gerald's Field even.
Everyone's favorite football head.
Yep. We're talking about Hey Arnold, you know, that show about that girl who loves that guy and has very bad, kind of problematic stuff going on.
Oops.
But before we get into that, let's talk about our guests. First up, we have a artist in the community called Granola Boy, or Spec. Why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Well, my name's Spec. I didn't get into the fandom until about a few years ago. Hey Arnold was one of those things that I kind of watched on TV as background noise. But a few years ago, I started watching it again, and it's consumed my entire soul. Oops.
Yeah, cartoons do that. It's like that, not to go into another cartoon, it's like that episode of Rocko's Modern Life where, by the way, Rocko's Modern Life might be the next episode, so if you're interested, maybe you want to sign up for that. But it's like that episode where they get the big screen TV and it sucks out Heifer's brain.
Biggest mood.
Yeah.
That's what Hey Arnold did to me, and I'm having a lot of fun in the fandom. Everyone here is super nice.
Okay. Let's go on next to Nestle. Yeah, just Nestle. You're also an artist, I believe?
I am. I guess I'm an old fart here, so I've watched Hey Arnold since I was 9 years old, just like the characters in the show. So I've grown up with the show, and somehow I always end up revisiting it, and especially once everything became more accessible on the internet. I remember just binge watching every single episode during the summer when it used to be on Netflix even, and I I wish it was still on Netflix, but now I own everything on iTunes, so that's where I go. But I love Hey Arnold for its amazingly entertaining characters. You know, the show's got a really good balance of humor and seriousness, which I don't see a lot of these days in cartoons.
Yeah.
Each episode flows really well. You know, it's got like I said, it's got a really good mix of morals and comedic beats. You know, it always took itself seriously enough to value its kid viewers. Like I said, I was 9 when this was on, and I remember understanding the morals. I wasn't just like laughing at the slapstick or whatever.
True.
So
Yeah,
and I
like-
still laugh at the same things even as an adult, if not even more. So it's just a really well written, well structured show. I love it.
One thing I want to say about it, it's also very sort of unique in that, very sort of course, that it has primarily for the children, it has primarily children actors, and they do a pretty good, if not excellent job. Like, say, Fran E. I forget her full name right now. The voice of Helga. Francesca. She does a fantastic job of Helga. Just phenomenal performances across the board. Everything okay?
Helga.
Yeah. We'll get
I
to
love
her.
how you can like hear her develop, through the series too.
Oh yeah, her voice develops, it's pretty great.
Okay, next up is Mickey Bandy.
Bandy.
Bandy. I was gonna say Brandy, like the singer,
Yeah, no.
or the alcoholic beverage.
It's Bandy. Put
Bandy.
respect on that name.
No alcohol.
And
in
we
my
have
classroom.
another guest, Prada. Why don't we have Prada say something?
She's actually like hiding somewhere, so she's not chilling with me.
Oh, she's a ninja
So
cat.
there's no Garfield here in this episode.
Garfield.
Yeah.
Okay, so what brings you to the fandom, and why do you love it so much?
I mean, when it comes to fandoms in general, I tend to like, if the floor is fandom, I tend to like just stay out of the floor for the longest time. But I mean, overall, like I know Hey Arnold since I was like a little kid. Like it was like one of my childhood favorites. And it's like after hearing that there's gonna be a movie, I'm like, that has to be fake. And then I look it up. Oh, it's confirmed. So let me go ahead and binge watch Month a bit. And it's like I went back into seeing that it's actually a lot. It's like it's just as good as it was when I was watching it as a kid. Like I think Hey Arnold had that was like super unique during that time is the fact that they don't just develop like the main character Arnold, but they have like a huge cast of like just regular supporting characters that are developed in their own way.
Unique.
Yeah.
Yeah, except
Oh,
maybe Rhonda, but that's another story.
Randa. Lakeisha, I'm sorry, I forgot her name. It's like Lasuk, right?
I don't know. Rhonda's the one
I mean
crazy.
like the person in the fandom that really likes
Leska?
Leska, yeah.
Yeah.
She might kick your butt if you heard her say that.
It's okay. 1v1. Final destination. Final
Oh,
destination. No items. Fox only.
Another
with
thing I'll
it.
say about the uniqueness of the characters is they're also very well designed in that they're all super unique. Like you can tell them all by profile. That's very good, especially in an age where like you look at something like even though I do love the show Gravity Falls. Maybe I
Mhm.
shouldn't say Gravity Falls, but like I don't know. Uh, some other cartoons. I was gonna say Gravity Falls, but like two characters look the same, but then I realized like a lot of characters are twins, so that kind of
Yeah.
makes sense.
Yeah.
Gosh.
I love Gravity Falls. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah, like the
Even twins aren't safe from same face.
Yeah,
yeah, no. You mean every
I
anime
get what you're
ever.
saying though.
it's like
Like
super
every
great how it's like by profile. Like I'd say like sort of like Overwatch, in that you can tell just by looking at someone. Oh, that's a McCree or that's a Mercy.
Yeah, everyone in Hey Arnold looks super unique. I love everyone's weird head.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's like everyone's roasting Hey Arnold. Everyone's roasting Arnold for his football head, but everyone has some weird, like, shaped faces too.
tall hair boy.
yeah. That reminds me of another thing. Sorry, Becky, if we're not getting to you quickly enough, but just want to bring up one thing. There was a promo for Hey Arnold where they're like, "Hey, is this an upside down ice cream cone? No, it's Gerald. Is that a
Oh my
spider?
goodness.
No, it's Nadine. But I
I
can't find it on YouTube. I wonder if anyone
yeah,
knows where it is."
I know what you're talking about. I remember that one too. It's like Eugene was like an open can of
Yeah,
something.
No, leave my boy alone.
Yeah, just in the artist world, if you can tell a character by their silhouette alone, you have a good character design. That's really important, just in design, character design in general.
yeah.
Ooh.
Not to get into like bad character design. That there's already a Tumblr for that.
Hmm.
An anime.
Yeah. I don't know. I only watch like Panty and Stocking, so they have good character design. Never mind. Let's go to Becky. Forget I said that. Becky, would you like to
Yeah.
introduce yourself?
Uh, what?
Sorry. Would you like to introduce yourself? Sort of how you got into fandom. You're kind of interesting among us because you're actually a bit younger. Like you didn't necessarily grow up with the show. Like when it first came out. Like how did you discover it?
Well, I actually I was just going through the channels when I was about 8 years old, and I just found it and was like, okay, I'm gonna watch this. And I just remember sitting on the couch and giggling like an idiot at Helga and all the other characters, and I fell in love with the show. And then there was this time in between that I took a break from the show because I actually got made fun of for it. And I was like,
Oh.
no, I gotta stop because it was slowly destroying my life.
Oh
And so I
man.
took a break. But then I met some new friends, and I slowly came to appreciate the show once more. And here I am.
Yeah.
Oh.
Not.
That's
Hopefully,
sweet.
I'm not picking at wounds, but like, was it because of you liking a certain character, or just because of the show itself?
It was because I liked Helga a lot.
That's not fun. Everyone loves Helga. You get picked on if you like I don't know, Lila or something. Like me.
Well, that's the fan base will pick on you, but I mean, I can see how normal people would, you know.
Yeah. When you were a kid, Becky, Hey Arnold wasn't really that popular anymore, so
Yeah.
that's still not cool of them though, not in my classroom.
I would assume like you saw this on like say Nicktoons or something, because I don't think Hey Arnold was being shown on regular Nick for a while until like the Splat came back or whatever.
Yeah, it was on Nicktoons. I'd stay up until like 11 and 2 o'clock just to
Oh
watch it.
yeah, like I'm on the West Coast, so it would come on like 5, I think, and I would like I'd like TiVo those ones and see what would go on. Usually just the Layla episodes. There's gonna be a theme for the episode, I guess. We all have our very special people that we like.
Yeah, we
And
all have our favorite characters here.
it's not like there are certain ones we can just tell right off the bat just by looking at the stream.
Hey!
Like some people
Don't
like
be rude.
some people like Power Rangers, some people like anime, and some people like themselves.
Hey.
That's like all of us. That's like all of us here. I'm the anime girl icon.
And
Becky,
like
you got
enjoy.
called out.
What? Oh, okay. Official Art Productions said Becky won't ever shut up about Helga nowadays. It's all about Helga, but she doesn't realize she's tearing our family apart. and she's right.
Nice.
Let's see here. What's next on the itinerary? You guys want to say what's been going on, like in your lives or in the fandom? Because right now I'll say I've been busy as heck. Just been working like about 40-hour weeks. Just been milling away at the old food mill.
Whoops.
Yeah.
Food mill.
Well, like
Food mill?
it's a restaurant, so it's like the food theater, if you would.
The food theater.
Yeah. I work at if you don't know this about me, I work at let's look down at my shirt. Yep, it's on there. I work at the Final Draft Brewing Company, which is a brew house slash restaurant. I'm a
Nice.
food runner there, food runner, expo, busser, and dishwasher.
You had to look down at your shirt to remember
It's-
the name of the place you work.
No, it's just on my shirt. I wear it all the time because I work there all the time.
I'm just being mean. It's okay.
No, it's fine. So I've been on the server, like the Hillwood server. If you'd like to know about that, you can I guess maybe tweet at me and I can get you in touch. You know, I got the hookup.
Hmm.
I don't know if I have that power yet, but I'll see if I can do something about it.
You got that sweet, sweet connection.
Yeah. And so I've been on the server and like I've been having a blast talking with all the fans and the artists and the writers, and like it just got me so jazzed up to like talk about this. And I thought, you know what? Everyone is just being so cool in this. I want to contribute too. I thought back to when I recorded the first chapter. I read the first chapter aloud of 50 Shades of Grey, the phenomenal book series that everybody loves. And by everyone, I mean our moms.
Yep.
Yeah. If you want to read that, it will be linked to my SoundCloud, which is going to be probably where this is going to be put.
Should we really mention that here?
The first chapter is not that bad. So like I know we're trying to keep this PG-13, but like it's funny.
You
Like
just skyrocketed past PG-13.
well, I said 50 Shades. Oh, I guess I could. It's not. The first chapter is not bad. It's not like too saucy.
The floor is a family-friendly rating, and Rise blasting into orbit.
Yep.
I could say something right now to get us right to a good R. I mean, we have like it's PG-13 movies now. We can mention stuff like that. We can have like I think 2 F words and 5 S words.
Well, okay.
All the specifics, yeah.
Okay, sorry, Becky. Yeah,
Huh?
I saw you in chat. Oh, are you talking about to them or like us?
I was talking to them.
Okay. Okay, so yeah, I saw that and I'm like, you know what? That was kind of fun. It was very good learning process to do in Audacity and stuff. So I thought, why not do a podcast? And I thought, what would the podcast be about? I just looked up to my screen and saw the little Discord icon and thought, why not Hey Arnold? So
Nice.
I pulled from the community. I got some wonderful guests. Took a little bit, but we got it all together and we're recording it right now. So that's what I've been doing. Anyone else want to jump in?
What are we talking
Like what-
about here?
Just
Like
what
what-
we've been doing.
Just what we've been doing lately, yeah.
Like what's going on in your life, something you want to bring up that's maybe not that doesn't align with the topic right now.
Sure, I'll bite.
Okay.
Okay,
Um,
I'm not going
uh,
first.
I'm Nestle. I run an art community, so I do a lot of artist type stuff there. That's what my main income comes from.
Ooh.
It's a community group where you draw a character and you build it up by essentially drawing it, and it's cool. I have a lot of fun with that, but I'm also a dog walker.
Oh, nice.
Aw.
Are they like OCs based on a fandom or like original sort of things?
They're completely original. It's called Windgrow. They're basically little dragon characters. You basically customize them. You turn them into your own character, and yeah, it's fun. I enjoy it.
Yeah. By the way, we are recording this on Twitch and on OBS, so this is being recorded. Saw Doodles
no.
were saying that. So if you're in the witness protection program and on this podcast, I'm sorry.
I've been
Darn.
exposed.
Dun dun dun. Okay, anyone else want to jump in? It's fine if you don't want to.
I'm like waiting for someone else to go so I can go.
So you can interrupt them.
Yeah, I've really got nothing to say.
That's fine. Like nothing you want to bring up, something that's been bothering you, or like you want to talk about.
No,
Okay.
I've just been.
Here we are at the psychiatrist.
I mean, aside
so you,
from Hey Arnold,
you just want to talk about Dr. Helga on the couch?
Yeah.
aside from Hey Arnold, I've been really focused on In a Heartbeat.
Oh yeah, that I haven't seen it yet, but it looks really good.
Please,
I-
we're at 15 million views.
Ooh,
and
nice.
it's been
4
around-
days.
Yeah, boys.
Do you know? Have any idea what like the production team was on that? Like like how many people worked on it?
The meat of the production team was 2 college students who were in their junior year of art school when they started it.
Hmm.
And they did have a bunch of friends to help with the lighting and the sound production and stuff like that, but the meat of the production team was just 2 college students.
Wow.
And I was hoping my brain would let me focus on Hey Arnold long enough to do this podcast, but my brain is screaming In a Heartbeat.
Dun 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 dun. Like
Exactly.
the audience can't see it right now, but your Discord logo or icon is the 2 kids from it, the 2 boys.
Yes, it is.
It looks really cute.
Yeah.
Does
It's
does
so
does the like
cute.
the person they're being chased after, like the Arnold of say this relationship, does their heart come out too, or is it just the Helga boy?
You
Oh,
you would have to know when it's like you'll know when you watch it.
I'm just saying like
Yeah, you'll
I-
find out when you watch it.
okay, I'll try and get on there.
Yeah.
It was
To be
4
honest,
Thank
I've
you.
never heard of this.
Oh my goodness, I'll link you later, Nestle.
All right.
We should all watch it all together too after this.
I don't know. I can't tell if Core Bast is being like really flattering or just kind of trolling me.
No, that's my friend. That's Crow.
Oh, cool. Thank you, dude. So
was really polite.
let's talk about the history of Hey Arnold all the way
So
back
I was
in
like, I got something.
in
so
like
it's whatever.
2 billion BN, which is before Nick. It started out as a series of claymation shorts that would air on the Pee Wee Herman show.
Yes.
And there's about 3 shorts. Let me look up the Wikipedia thing really quick. I had it bookmarked, but I think I lost it. Do I have it still? No. Hey Arnold Wiki.
I remember in the earliest incarnations of the Hey Arnold, where the claymation shorts where Hey Arnold was inspired from, Helga was actually a girl named Penny.
Oh yeah, because Penny was also another series of
Claymation short.
Yes.
Yeah, it
So-
was in, I
oh,
think it was
wow.
also in Pee Wee Herman. I don't know.
Yeah, it was also in Pee Wee Herman. He would have pennies for eyes.
If that,
Yeah,
that was cute back then, but
Yeah,
now
the 3 shorts that
I gotta
were
be honest. When I was a kid, that scared the crap out of me.
claymation or just Pee Wee?
No, Penny. That
Oh, Penny.
scared the crap out of me.
Was it the eyes?
Yeah, it was the eyes.
Early Coraline concepts.
I was just gonna say
Oh, no, I was
Coraline.
like, oh.
Yeah.
I think that's where I got the idea from.
It's like, oh, you got a penny in your... No, it's your eyes.
It's creepy.
Oh, dude, Rhonda was in this? Was in the shorts? I didn't know that.
Maybe
Ooh.
I think I vaguely remember
Was
it.
she?
Yeah.
It says so on the wiki, so it has to be true.
It has to be true. It's on the
Yeah,
internet. It's true.
I don't actually remember the shorts. That was before my time, but when I was looking into the history of Harold, I was like, oh, that is interesting.
Yeah, there's like YouTube videos about like how
That's-
it is.
I mean, that was a very long time ago. I can barely remember that.
Yeah, Helga. I see Helga here. She looks very unibrowny in the short.
Weird. Yeah.
Like there were 3 shorts. There's Arnold escapes from church. That's scary. The Arnold waltz. That's okay. And Arnold rides his chair.
Oh.
Yeah,
Yeah,
those
they're all
just
very interesting.
okay. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not old enough to actually remember when they were on TV. I'm kind of fandom intermediate.
I remember Pee Wee, but mainly because it was replayed on Fox Family, I think, or ABC Family. That was that was before it was like first on cable there was Fox Family and that showed a lot of kid stuff. It was super cool. They had Three Friends and Eric, just a bunch of cool stuff. That I can't remember right now. But then turned to ABC Family, and then it got relegated to the morning show, and then there's no more kid stuff on there, unless you count the Harry Potter things they show every weekend for 16 hours straight.
Mm.
And then I believe there were some shorts in Simpsons magazines where you guys want to talk about Craig and Matt?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, sort of explain that dynamic, which is kind of weird.
Going back to the comics.
Yeah, comics Arnold comics would appear in Simpsons magazines. I believe it was before he got picked up on Nick.
Oh yeah.
I don't remember those actual comics, but I know that Craig Bartlett and Matt Groening,
Yeah.
Matt Groening are
Brother-in-law, I think.
yeah, brothers-in-law.
Yep. Yeah, Craig actually married Maggie, I guess.
Is that Matt's sister?
Yeah, his sisters are the characters in Simpsons are based off his parents and his sister, and it's straight up down to the name except for Bart, obviously.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome.
And then it got picked up in Nick, I believe, in '96.
Mm-hmm.
And it ran for 5 seasons, which is 100 episodes or 100 shorts, I guess.
Something
if
like
we
that.
count the specials and that, it goes for 100 episodes, and there's a movie which we might not talk about because of its stuff.
I'm pretty sure the back of the DVD box says there's 99 episodes.
I have it right in my view, but I can't reach it, so I'm not gonna check.
Me too.
I got no 5.
Yeah.
Yeah.
5 seasons.
I don't know why I have 8 seasons on my phone. I guess they
That's just
shortened them or something.
that's just wishful thinking, I think. You just want more.
Well,
then again, Arnold had a very weird sort of release schedule.
Yeah.
Europe, the Europe territories and UK, they would get theirs pretty much on the level, production timeline. We would get it categories, just whenever they felt like it.
Yes, and speaking of the production schedule, I actually just learned this maybe a week or 2 ago. They aired a couple episodes out of order.
Yeah, they did that all
They
the
were
time.
oh yeah, of course, yeah.
All
all
the
the time.
time.
Well, when I say they were aired out of order, I mean they were put in production out of order. They're even on the DVDs out of order.
Oh, really?
Yeah. They're really out of order everywhere.
The episodes where we first see Lorenzo were aired out of order. They showed his second episode first.
And
But-
Mr.
but-
Simmons comes in and then gets replaced again, and yeah.
Yeah, Miss Felter came in for 2 weeks like she owned the place. That's fine.
Yeah, scooping up all the boys.
Not in my classroom.
And Lila too. Lila disappears.
Mm-hmm.
Does she? Because she is back. We'll get to that later. But I think she Little Miss Perfect, I think was the name of the episode, or just Miss Perfect, where she comes
Yep.
in. But
Yep.
that aired after. But there are only certain. I'm not sure. There are only certain Lila-centric episodes that air. So I'm not saying it would be the one where she and Timberly are dating Arnold. It was aired before that.
That was an episode.
Yeah, that was an episode.
That
Well, like
was.
it was weird. It does have that immortal line, which I don't think I can mention right now.
But yeah, it would be great if the fan base could put together like a master list or something of all the episodes that
The way
the
they got
best
released,
order.
like
Yeah,
the
just
machete viewing order.
yeah.
My goodness.
So what does everyone enjoy about your favorite? How about we start with favorite episode?
Oh
I think
no.
like
Favorite
I know it's
episode.
hard to choose, but like I'm gonna start right now. I'm gonna say the one that gets most in depth and probably I'd say the best written, if not the best sort of acted. I'd say it would be Helga on the Couch.
Ooh. Hug on
We
the
all
couch.
love that one.
Definite. It pleases my inner psych major.
Like it's sort of an easy device to use, considering it is like just a psychiatrist or therapist office where you do
Mm-hmm.
go in and like you do have to explain the neurosis or the psyche of a character. But it's
Mm-hmm.
done very well, especially like not like pretty like, oh well, here's what's wrong with you. They actually explore the psyche of Helga.
Mm-hmm. The one thing
It's
I really liked was there weren't a lot of gross undertones. All the only bad undertones about therapy and needing help came from Big Bob, but we all hate him anyways.
Yeah, he's a jerk weasel.
even Miriam, joins in and she's like, yeah, some things are better swept under the rug, honey. Like they're both really like, don't say
No,
anything, and they're against
no,
it.
Miriam, no, Miriam.
Let's talk about Helga's family for a while. Let's talk about Helga because like Arnold
Oh,
is ostensibly the focus of the show. I hope I use that word right. He is the focus. He is the titular character, but a lot of the development and comedy comes from Helga.
Helga does get
Yep.
a lot of episodes later on down the road in the series.
Yeah, she's I'd probably say the most interesting character, and like if like we were gonna make a new series, probably she'd focus on her and her situation.
Yeah, of
Mm-hmm.
course. Yeah.
Because
It,
an overview of Helga has a huge major stalker, if I can use that word, crush on
well,
Arnold.
Yeah, you can.
Yeah,
kind of.
she has a
It's
stalker.
definitely a stalker.
Yeah, she hides behind, well, kind of like Brainy. She goes.
Hi.
Every breath you take.
God.
Do you hear that?
Yes. Can I stalk Brady? No, don't stalk Brady. That's why you're here in the first place.
Sock Brainy or Stock Brainy?
Sock.
Sock. Okay.
As in punch him.
Helga has this obsession with Arnold, and it's kind of like in the first few seasons, kind of like, oh, okay, it's funny sort of thing. But then Helga and the Couch appears, and it sort of
Ooh.
gives context to why it happens, what's sort of going on with her family life, because her family life is kind of crappy. Her dad neglects her, like constantly emotionally
Her whole
abuses her.
family.
Yeah,
Her
her
whole
whole
family neglects her, yeah.
not possibly
Yeah.
like intentional, but like it's definitely harmful.
Mm-hmm.
They're
Dad's a
very
blowhard, and
yeah.
he focuses a lot on his beeper company. Miriam is passed out drunk.
That's technically never said on the show. It's just more implied.
I mean, even Craig Bartlett has confirmed that it was totally,
Yeah.
Yeah.
She was putting Tabasco sauce in her smoothies. You put Tabasco sauce in a Bloody Mary.
I don't know. I'd eat or drink a Tabasco smoothie. That sounds fun. But then again, I'm a culinary daredevil, so
Not in my classroom.
sometimes I put mayo on my sandwiches.
Ooh. Living on the dark side.
So Miriam, there's Bob Blowhard, Miriam, distant, moody. Not I wouldn't say moody, but like very tired. Doesn't
She's
really.
kind of dead inside.
Yeah. And there's Olga, who is like, she is the perfect like model student citizen that Helga
Child.
just that Helga like she's the child every parent wants. Overbearing, wants their child to achieve. Parent wants.
Mm-hmm.
And like they're constantly comparing her. Like Olga herself has a lot of neuroses. She is afraid of failure and just she gets a B grade once and it just destroys her. She just goes to the couch and cries and cries and cries and cries and cries and cries and cries.
And it wasn't even a real bee, but she spent 3 weeks in her bed listening to Lacrimosa on repeat.
Yeah,
Gosh, Helga.
Olga.
You know I had to do it to her.
I think we all know like an Olga in our lives, you know,
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
someone that just has to be best at everything, and you just want to punch them.
But then again,
well,
you don't. You
stop
don't.
me
You don't.
right here.
Honestly, you just described Miki.
I mean, there's a lot of anxiety that comes with that because it's like you have a lot. Like, I get I could sympathize with Olga given that she does have like a bunch of anxiety when having to be perfect, like getting into her parents' expectations.
Mm-hmm.
That's a way to like keeping that marriage up, like not trying to keep that marriage apart. Like I forgot my wording on that. Basically, trying to handle that marriage together by being like middle of Miss Perfect.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like she said, she was like a wind-up doll in that episode. I know.
Oh, yeah.
So
E-
Helga. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
Even Olga does state that it's hard for her trying to be perfect all the time. I can't imagine the toll it takes on her mentally.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's relatable from all sides. That's what they do good. They do it good.
Man, the Patakis are like a nice psychological analysis.
Yeah.
Yes, mood.
Yeah. And they were like, we can compare really quickly to Arnold's family or familial units. He has a very
Aw.
unconventional family. Like, the Patakis, they're a nuclear family, like 2.5 kids, mom, husband, wife. But Arnold's family, the Shortmans, if they're called the Shortmans,
Gee, Arnold, how come your mom lets you have 3 dads?
I think he
The
has like
boarding house
he
family,
has
I
like
guess.
five. He has five at least until like Mr. What's his face left. Mr.
Mr. Smith.
Mr.
Never a
Smith, yeah.
dad to
He
anybody.
lives with his parents or his grandparents, Pookie and
Phil.
Steely Phil.
Really,
I
Phil. Yeah.
almost said the other one.
Yes, the grandparents' names are Gertie and Phil.
Pookie, as I like to call her.
Yep.
And he lives in a boarding house with other tenants, so he has a very, some would say, unconventional way of growing up. But he's all, I wouldn't say down to earth like in the first season.
Mature.
He's very, in tune with other people's sort of situation.
He had to grow up too fast.
Yeah.
He does have issues himself, like his parents are missing. We'll get to why in a second, or a couple minutes. Dun dun dun. But he's a very outwardly a very kind, sensitive person
Mm-hmm.
who is just trying to help out everyone he can. Like he grew up to be a very nurturing sort of influence in the neighborhood, in his city, in his building, just everywhere.
He's a very emotionally in tune kid.
Yeah, like it's almost like it almost becomes an exaggerated feature of him, like where he actually like in the movie he saves an entire neighborhood.
How do I get on that level?
He basically died for your sins.
It's interesting that in the beginning of the series, he's just kind of a space cadet. He's just kind of daydreaming all the
Yeah,
time.
just out there.
They quickly changed that very, very early on. They got rid of the daydreaming segments and all that because they had to make him more, hyper focused on everything around him. So it's interesting how that changed.
That's an element that I wish they hadn't gotten rid of because
I disagree.
Well, they have other characters that fill that role.
I feel like as the series goes on, they start exaggerating Arnold's better features, and it's almost he almost becomes like a godlike character. Like he's
A
no
messiah.
longer human.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's no longer a human. He's no longer just your regular 9-year-old kid. And it kind of unnerves me a little bit. I feel like the daydream sequences brought him back down to earth a little bit and made him feel more like a 9-year-old kid.
He basically become Lila.
He does have his moments though when he snaps and he gets.
Deconstructing Arnold was a very good episode. I loved that one.
Yeah.
That was the episode where he vowed to no longer help anybody because they all thought he was sticking his nose where it didn't belong.
It's like Watchmen,
It's like,
where
fine, screw you guys. I'm going somewhere else.
it's like when Rorschach, like, the city will look up from its puddles of humanity and ask, "Will you help me?" And I'll say, "No." If it's
Nope.
I don't even remember what that line was.
Rorschach, but it's
pretty
more,
close.
But he has a football head.
It's just a football. No, it's like all those little ink blots that was on Helga in the couch.
Yep. She throws out the window.
Me taking
Let's-
a Rorschach test.
Simmons, Hart, Simmons.
Shut up.
Okay, if we go back to Helga for a second, we find out why she likes Arnold because with like all this abuse she's suffered, neglect, she finds one person, one shining beacon in her life where she gets kindness, she gets attention, she gets
Just gets noticed.
vindication.
And then she gets attached to him, and honestly, who could blame her? In her short 4 years of life, she saw absolutely nothing, and then Arnold came in holding an umbrella over her head because it was raining.
Yeah. And then she based her like the other half of her life just stalking him. Like, and if it turned out another way, if kids weren't cruel, if Harold wasn't a jerk butt, she would like they might be like together at the point where we see them in the series.
Or at least friends.
Like if she wasn't afraid of being vulnerable.
Oh yeah.
That's another thing. She's very vulnerable. She's afraid of being letting anyone into her life.
Mm-hmm.
And there are at least two characters that try and get into her life. There's Inga, right? The maid.
Yeah, the maid.
Yeah.
The nanny was quite an episode.
Like it introduces a very heavy concept like guilt. Like
Yes. You're such an angry girl, Helga, and you won't let anyone help you, so now you must live with your
it's
unhappiness.
like nailed to the head right there. That just nails it to the board.
Yes. Inga went in for Helga's entire life, if I must say.
It's a really relatable episode to a lot of kids, I think.
It's like when your parents it's like I'm not mad at you, I'm disappointed.
I thought the entire episode was great, but I think the most poignant moment of that episode was the end, where Inga had left. Bob and Miriam were fighting downstairs, but Helga sits in her bed and picks up her needlepoint, which Inga taught her.
Yeah.
She
And then
spent all that time trying to get rid of her, and then she still picked up one of Inga's coping mechanisms for her anxiety.
Yeah. And then we never see it again.
Oh,
Oh,
so
wow.
sad.
Yeah.
It's one of those times where you wish the show didn't utilize its status quo trope.
Well, some think. Well, it's like, did we ever see Mr. Green like do any city council work or mayoring or whatever he did after that
I
point?
mean, it's just the nature of the show. It's, they're episodic. They have to go on with the next thing,
Like
I was like, if they're airing it off like or out of order, then they might as well not have continuity.
Yeah.
Okay, you make a fair point.
Also, like it's like the only things that really changed it, like it's like just who Arnold is crushing on, like to get rid of Ruth and she's gone forever.
Ruth makes me angry.
Ruth McDougal with her braces. She had braces,
She's
right?
in,
Yeah.
she's in the intro sequence, and she was relevant for maybe 2.5 episodes.
So she's gone.
Bye,
Yeah,
Ruth.
And then Lila. I will say this: like Lila, people don't like her, but like when she's gone, she's become something of a character. Like she just becomes she's mainly just an obstacle for Helga.
Mm-hmm. And it's so sad because she has a lot of potential for development too. I mean,
Like she's like the antithesis of Helga. She was outwardly, who Craig has praise Craig, who has sort of hinted at she might have a dark side. Like she might really be trying to passive aggressively cruel to other people.
I think that Lila shows she was written to have a lot of strength because she's moved to the city she's moved to a place she's never been to before. It's completely different from the farming community she just left. Her dad doesn't have a job. They don't have any food. And yet she still manages to be kind and sweet. And I don't know how anybody could do it. I'm 21 years old and I couldn't do that.
Yeah. Also, she is like a kick butt horse wrangler.
Yeah.
And but she can't swim, so. Then Lorenzo wants to drown her.
Lorenzo.
This is me, Lorenzo.
Get out.
I really like that first episode where they introduce Lila though, because it's so true when that happens when a new girl comes in or a new kid and everybody likes them. Like people get jealous and they're like, "What's so great about them?" And like, "Why? How can they be so happy?" And it makes you mad. And it's like, why does that happen when you're a kid? It's so terrible, isn't it? But it's true. That kind of thing happens.
I can relate to that. I grew up in the same school district my entire life. I spent my whole life trying to make friends. And then we'd have these new kids move in who had friends overnight. I'm like, excuse you?
Yeah, you're like, what's wrong with me? Like, why can't I do that? You get jealous and then you turn into a bully and you don't even know you're being a bully, and it's really interesting.
Or like maybe you do like them and you try and say how you like them, but you can't really articulate those feelings, so you just bully them, which is relevant to this podcast. Yeah.
Even not even bullying, but kind of outcast them. Like, I think that's what a lot of girls do. They don't necessarily go up and make faces or call them names, but they'll shun you out and they won't hang out with you, and that's even worse, I think, in a way.
Yeah.
Cold shoulder hurts.
I grew up in a pretty small town, but then I moved to an even smaller town. I went to an even smaller school.
Oof.
And like it's weird to think about how that affected me with like friends and stuff. I didn't have that many friends, but I was chill with everyone around me. Like no one really hated me except for like one kid who tried to strangle me with the basketball. But
well, how do you strangle someone with a basketball?
It was
Yes.
it was deflated.
I need to know. Oh, okay.
Like a car ran over it, and then like he tried to like smother me with it.
Okay.
He tried to fit it down my throat. It's fine. I would have become basketball head.
Damn.
The hiss.
So we talked about what we like. Let's talk about what we didn't like. Things they could have improved on.
Oh no.
Like there's definitely a way to like we could have like had Arnold be a bit more consistent in his characterization from the beginning.
No, I like the fact that he changed. I mean, I think that's one of the things that your character should do over a series. They should grow and change.
Yeah, characterization marches on, if I can steal that. But like another thing is like some people are inconsistent with their characterization. Like say just in general, the group sometimes like they're very close knit. I'm talking about like Stinky and Sid and Harold. Sometimes they're okay with Arnold and Gerald and Helga, but sometimes they're not. And that just really depends on who was writing the episode, what kind of direction they want to take it.
But I also think that's the nature of human relationships.
I agree.
Even your best friends, sometimes you're gonna be in a mood at them.
Yeah, they can be dicks, you know.
But I do kind of appreciate the characters who don't have solid linear development, like they started out as a bully, they ended up good. I like characters who go back and forth because that feels very real. Real people do that.
But maybe if like we knew their motivations more, that would probably like we know like Stinky's motivations, like say for the soda episode.
His motivation is obviously lemon pudding.
No, he doesn't want to be made he doesn't want to be made a fool. He wants to be treated like seriously, so he turns it down.
Mhm.
Yeah.
He wants to like he wants to be treated normally. But he still wants like some sort of like with the pumpkin episode. He wants some sort of thing to say, I'm
good at something.
Yeah, I'm not just a nitwit.
He did so good with the pumpkin. I'm proud of him.
Yeah, that's a big pumpkin. Another side story. My parents, or I think my great grandparents, they grew a big old pumpkin once, and I got to sit on it.
Oh, that's cute.
It was so big.
Did you get to? Were you able to play cards in it though?
No.
Yeah.
It wasn't that big. Besides, like pumpkins like that, they do get affected by gravity, so sometimes they squish a little bit.
Ooh, gross.
Like they're not like big old round thingies; they're big old like disc thingies. Another thing
could the characters be better fleshed out? Yeah, sure. I think they definitely could have been, but I mean, the product of its time, and the different writers and Nickelodeon, I think they did a fantastic job.
I would say like maybe like Lila. I'm gonna say Lila about 16 more times this episode. But but like she was only like an obstacle for Helga. Like it's really apparent in like the big sister episode.
Mm-hmm.
Like outside of like that, he only has like one major appearance outside of Arnold or Helga. Like she's only there to like sort of motivate. She's just motivation. She's not really a character.
I mean, honestly, I think Lila really helped develop Arnold's character more than anything else. I really do. Like, he was just a nice guy who helped everybody. And then when Lila came in the picture, he was torn. He was, like, conflicted. He was like, rejected, and he had to deal with that. And it was, like, really cool to see different sides of Arnold dealing with that, I think.
It's sad, but I think seeing that side of Arnold wasn't important. He felt entitled to a relationship with this girl.
He was just like, why? Why can't we be together? I don't understand.
There's a word.
You.
There's a word for that, but I'm not gonna. Don't want to bring that specter up right now.
This isn't Burger King. You can't have it your way.
I mean, that's also important because it's like, well, it just shows that Arnold too has his flaws.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah, like
And he's still a kid.
pushing it. Like he would not give up, and it's like, dude, like it's not mutual. Give
He has,
up.
he has to learn boundaries.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No
Like
means
most
no.
boys his age.
Well, he was actually, for his age, he was actually somewhat respectful, but like he was definitely inappropriate in pursuing it.
Mm-hmm.
Pushing it.
It showed his flaws, and it was really good for him.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
that comes at the expense of another character that could have been fleshed out.
Mm-hmm.
What?
Lila.
No, the
I
Jolly
mean-
Ollie man.
Yeah.
Oh,
man.
Oh, that was a sad episode actually. That's like there's so much parental neglect and abuse in the series.
Oh
You little clown.
no.
Oh,
Wait,
that
are
reminds
you
me. I'm going to say right now. I think I said Helga on the Couch as best episode. I would say what's Arnold. What's Arnold opera, but what's opera Arnold. That was a pretty episode too.
Oh, I love that episode.
That was a funny episode.
Was it with my golden
With
Golden-
my golden magic slingshot.
toy? Yeah, that was a good one too.
Are we still talking about what we would change in the series?
Yeah, we can talk about that. Yeah.
I think like we went through favorite episode and then least favorite, but I don't think everybody got a say in what they.
Yeah, just hop
Fun
in if you got
buddies.
like hop in like sort of discuss what you like.
I guess what are the favorite episodes of everybody else's?
Yeah.
Well, dang diddly. I guess I'll.
Dang
talk about my
diddly.
favorite episode.
It's always hard to jump in, isn't it?
Yeah. Who's gonna do it
Pressure.
first? Are we gonna interrupt each other? I guess my favorite episode, hands down, is April Fool's Day.
Oh, really? A lot of people.
Yeah, I know. I know a lot of people don't like it, and one of the only things that irks me in the show is the last voice actor of Arnold. It's
Alex
noticeable.
Lynn's.
Yeah,
Oh.
it's just a lot younger, a lot less mature sounding. It's kind of raspy, you know.
It's
but,
like someone. It's like something from Rugrats.
Yeah, and but even that can't mess this episode up for me. Like, I just like it that much. It's just that good. And I think the reason is because a lot of my favorite episodes are the ones where there's a lot of characters involved, rather just focusing on one or two. And April Fool's Day gives every character,
Like a rad party outfit.
it gives them something central to do. And, you know, because you've got like Sid and Stinky's adventure with the snapping turtle. You've got, you know, even Gerald, who gets in on the joke at the end, and he's taking a whiz and he overhears the conversation, and he comes up with the idea. And then even like, I love how the whole class thinks Simmons and Principal Warts' prank is like super lame. When they try to pull a prank on the class, like they're like trying to get in on it, and they're like, okay.
That prank made me sad, and honestly, that opened my eyes to some dark humor in my favorite character.
Man, that episode was when Arnold became Jake Paul.
And then, yeah, let's not forget the best part that everybody likes about that episode is the fact that, like, Arnold, like, actually flirts with her and, like, gets back at her for once, and it's cute and it's funny. Like, that's the best part. It's and the animation is so beautiful, too. It's just the best look at.
I'll just say right now, I don't remember too much about that episode because I think I might have skipped
You
it.
gotta watch it.
I only remember like Helga kind of dresses like a Puritan, and that
Yes,
thing
she has
where
a really plain brown dress.
and like Arnold flirts, and that's about it.
You gotta watch it. It's so good. It's
I
just
might
all
have to. I might have to
characters.
get. I might have to break out the DVDs.
The class prank, it gets to me. Anybody who knows me in the fandom knows Mr. Simmons is my favorite character.
Yep.
He's
Oh.
sweet, he's kind-hearted, he's gentle, he's loving. And then the April Fool's episode, he pulls a death prank.
He
Okay.
tries.
Spoilers,
so
dude. I haven't seen it.
That is incredibly dark humor for his character.
I mean, but he did it in such a lame, kooky way. You know?
Okay, Rye, to get you up to speed, Rye.
Yeah,
The opening.
it's fine. Like
the
I'll watch it. Don't worry.
Let him
Okay.
watch it. Let him watch it.
Yeah, I don't want to be
Yeah,
spoiled.
that's my favorite. So
Not
you can go
to
watch
keep
that.
interrupting, but like the Crow in the chat just brought up another really great episode, the Christmas special. That's a fantastic one.
Oh,
Yeah, we all love
Oh,
that
man.
one. Yeah.
got
You know what?
punched in the gut.
It definitely shows a lot about both characters, both main characters. It shows so much about them and just their compassion and their selflessness about that. It's really good. Like, let's just touch on that. And if you want to talk about it, we can talk about it. But whoever wants to talk next.
That was such an early episode too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it was impressively deep for such an early episode.
The emotional impact of that episode. Ouch.
I think I go back to the earlier episodes the least, just because they're just not as fleshed out and developed. But that one I will go back to, you know, even though it's.
I mean, that was like the turning point of like the show's quality. Like it became more deep and stuff.
Yeah, yeah. And
I
the
have to agree
Thanksgiving
with that.
episode too.
The Thanksgiving. I could go on for 6 hours about the Thanksgiving episode.
Well, yeah.
And we all know why.
It's
Yeah,
because
yeah.
it's because a bunch of people drowned in a boating accident, right?
No.
Yeah, that was a little dark when that happened, though.
That's my favorite part. I don't remember much of it. I guess I was too young to like really understand Simmons' character and what he. Can we
Yeah.
just say what he is? He was sort of like, it was very heavily implied he was homosexual,
Yes.
Yeah, of
and it's pretty
course.
much been confirmed by Craig on his Instagram
Yeah.
via draw something for some reason that he's gay. That and
He
Eugene.
is.
Of course.
I mean,
And
come on, look at him.
honestly, I did not see the Thanksgiving episode as a child. I saw it officially for the first time as an adult, and I think it still went over my head what was being implied.
Really.
Probably
Yeah,
like-
you've got the classic picture of the homophobic mother. You've got the girl that she's trying to set up her son with, and then you've got the catty boyfriend who's not having it. I think
Oh yeah, just his family. Yeah, yeah.
I think it still went over my head what was being implied, but that was so progressive and groundbreaking for cartoons in the 90s.
And that was such a slow episode back then. I remember watching it as a kid and not being as entertained, but I still liked it. I
It
guess.
is a slow burner. I think it's also because it's a double-length episode.
Yeah.
It's
Like-
kind of a slow burner, but it's got such a good story.
Like, what other episodes of a Nicktoon were like Thanksgiving themed? I can't really think of
God,
one.
I don't know.
Maybe Rugrats, maybe Ren and Stimpy, but I can't really think of one right now. Well, probably Doug too.
Oh,
Yeah, we don't really make a special occasion for cartoons for like those kind of holidays anymore.
Yeah, and
Anyways.
they did a lot. They did Veterans Day, which nobody did.
Yeah.
Nobody did Veterans Day.
Cartoons always like to focus on Christmas, but I had
Or
never seen.
Halloween.
Yeah.
Yeah, I couldn't remember a cartoon doing Thanksgiving before Hey Arnold.
Yeah.
And they did it in such a way that really relates to kids. It's like you think you're gonna have this perfect family get together, and it's never perfect for anybody.
Mhm.
That's what it was. That's what it was. The
Yeah.
main point.
To bring it back to Christmas, like a lot of cartoons, it's like when it's Christmas, like, oh, we gotta prove Santa's real. We gotta help him bring his sleigh to Antarctica.
That's
But, like,
true. Yeah.
This one's like a lot
Yeah.
more human.
Yeah, it's like more realistic. It's like
Grounded.
What we want, like grounded. Yeah.
Arnold's just trying to get Mr. Wynn the one thing that he doesn't have.
That's
Yep.
so sad, but it's so good.
It is.
Yeah.
Like, okay, don't get me wrong, I'm kind of a sucker for Christmas episodes where Santa's real and they have to help him save Christmas or
Yeah,
whatever.
like the
but-
Rugrats one. That's a good one.
Oh,
But I
when
love-
yeah, I like.
And
that one.
SpongeBob might be the best, like of that one.
But I
'Cause-
loved how real Arnold's Christmas was.
Yeah. Okay,
It's
so
like something that could actually happen.
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
How long have we been going? Let's find out. Oh, we've been live for about an hour. How about
Sick.
we talk about some news and then wrap up?
Sick.
Unless you
Yeah,
guys
okay.
want to touch on anything else.
If you
Jungle
ask
movie.
Okay.
If you ask me to do that, I'm going to be talking about Mr. Simmons forever. I'm proud of myself. I only mentioned him a couple times.
It's
We'll
like
do
the
we'll do like a
Simmons
bonus we'll do like a bonus episode of the Simmons cast after the show.
Yay!
So if you haven't heard, guys, there's a Jungle movie coming out. That's right, they brought it back. Only took them 15
20
years.
20 years, yep.
If you don't know,
yeah.
Hey Arnold ended on a massive, like, huge cliffhanger where Arnold, his parents are gone. They're trapped in a jungle somewhere. He doesn't know where they are. Probably the jungle. But he finds this journal in the episode, The Journal,
Mhm.
where he finds a map to
Obviously.
where they might be. So he goes, okay, Grandpa, we gotta do something. And then,
Grandma, I found a map.
and
The
then,
end.
and then the next episode was, this was April Fool's, and then we didn't hear anything from him.
The journal was the last episode, technically.
Yeah, chronologically, The Journal was the last episode, but
Yeah.
episodically, Phoebe's Little Problem was the last episode.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So The Journal is definitely the ending to the original series, and the Jungle movie is going to pick up where that left off. Arnold
Yep.
gets to travel to San Lorenzo and hopefully find his parents.
Yep, with all
But
his
about
friends.
a year later.
Yeah, it's only a couple years later in the Hey Arnold world, even though it's been 20 years in this world.
And now they have smartphones and probably Instagram.
They do.
Yeah, it's like that's what makes it. It's like, wait a minute. So
It's like what they're doing with Rocco too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you have to be a bit progressive. You have to,
Yeah.
It's like
you don't have to be obvious about it. But,
I mean, it's like I'll let it slide because it's like, well, they were like kids in the '90s, and now they got like smartphones within like a few years. So it's like I'm gonna let it
it's
slide.
like let's just say the aliens landed
Yeah.
and they gave them the technology to do it.
I mean,
it's
really,
on world time. It's
Yeah.
only been a few days or a few hours.
Honestly.
it's a cartoon.
So
I
it's
can
gonna have
forgive
all
it.
the great characters. It's gonna have Arnold. It's gonna have Phoebe. It's gonna have Helga. It's gonna have Gerald, and most importantly, Stinky. If you haven't
love
seen,
how- I love how the entire class is going, and Principal Wards. I'm anticipating what his role is going to be in the story.
I'm gonna assume he's just gonna do like the salsa the entire time.
Oh
He's-
yeah.
I'm calling it right now. He's going to fall asleep on the beach. He's going to wake up at the end of the episode with a horrible sunburn, and that's his contribution to the plot.
I wouldn't put it past him.
No, I wouldn't.
Another thing, my expectations, like, Lila's gonna be in it, or at least she's in the preview clip. I don't know if she's going on the trip.
I don't think she's going on the trip.
No, she's not going on the actual trip. She's going to be out of town when the trip itself is happening.
And they're saying,
Okay.
what I wanted for that was like she's on the trip. They cut to her for like a frame. She's like, "Oh Arnold, it's ever so," and then like a giant vine tongue licks her up and like drags her into a carnivorous plant's mouth.
Bye,
Oh
Lila.
my god.
And then like,
Why?
it's not like it shows her chewing on it. It's like just like swallowed whole. Maybe like
What
her.
did Lila ever do to you?
I just think that would be funny.
No, this isn't plant shop horror thingy.
Yeah.
You know,
It's not planned for.
You would like the April Fool's Day episode because they don't have her in that at all, except in one scene where she's getting dunked into one of
I know
those,
she
like-
has a pretty dress in it.
She got dunked on by Lorenzo.
Yeah, in the
Oh,
movie
really?
too.
he-
Yeah, in the movie
Lorenzo
I took
shoved her
a
in the pool.
yeah, I have a screen cap
the
of.
movie. I'm sorry. I'm thinking of the movie.
Yeah,
Isn't that funny though? That's the
Yeah.
only mention of her. It's just that.
I think I have a screen cap of it. Let me find it.
Woohoo.
Bye, Lila.
No, quick access, pictures.
It's
oh
so
my god, I
mean.
have so many tabs.
Ooh.
Where is it?
Uh,
I can't
we're
find
all, have we all seen the preview clip? I assume we have.
it.
Well, yeah.
I've seen most of it. Like I've seen it through GIFs. I haven't actually seen the whole thing.
What?
I'll watch it. I'll watch it right after this and tweet it.
Oh
You
my
have to watch-
God.
It was
You
out
have-
during Comic-Con. Come on.
You have to
I-
watch
I was.
the full
I had
thing.
like 16 Spider-Man and Deadpool GIFs to watch. I couldn't like watch that one.
But you have to make sure that you get the full extended version on Facebook because the one on YouTube is about a minute shorter than the full one on the Nick Splat page.
Okay.
Yeah, it cuts off a lot of character dialogue.
I know Rhonda does like face cam or
She's
something.
taking selfies.
And I know like I heard like Curly like he has a really funny line in it.
Arnold. Never heard of him.
That's
that
great.
that boy ain't right. I tell you what.
Oh, I want to know what motivated that now. Like, Curly, why? Come on.
Because Curly's a little troll.
That's such a great line though.
It's
Arnold.
perfect.
Never heard of him.
Like, can we talk about Curly for a little bit? Because, like, I don't know if I've told you this before. I might have told some of you, but I'm incredibly delusional.
Okay.
Okay.
And, like, I used to think I could have been an actor or something, like, you know, especially with YouTube, and, like, anyone can be a star. So I thought, oh, I could do, like, a live-action teen Hey Arnold thing. And I could be Curly.
Oh, my goodness.
And it would be like Silence of the Lambs. Just, like, certain parts of it. Okay, I'm sorry, I forgot. We'll stop.
No.
Twisted little freak.
Wouldn't he be perfect for it though?
You're not
Silence. Did you just say Curly would be perfect as Hannibal Lecter?
Yeah. Well, maybe someone more.
That's got some implications there, dude.
Well, like just like his performance as it, not like him actually.
No, Curly's way too freaking crazy.
Let's say he's more like Anthony Hopkins.
He's way too crazy. Hannibal Lecter is like super like restrained and calculating. Curly's like a freak and dances around with zoo animals.
All I know is that you're not a true Hey Arnold fan until you paint yourself with tiger stripes and free all the animals in the zoo.
Yeah.
But the nearest zoo is like Portland. I can't do that. Not on my budget.
And if you believe.
Okay, I'll face paint I'll go to my mom's house and free the horse. How about that?
Good enough.
Close enough. Yeah.
Okay.
No, you got free all the lobsters at the supermarket too.
Who was that? Someone in the show, or was that a different show?
That's a different show.
That's a different reference. I know what's going on here.
Okay, so movie.
I guess you didn't really talk about your favorite characters.
Well, we can do that right now if you guys want.
We could talk about our favorite characters, then wrap it up.
Yeah, do that. Let's talk a little bit more about the Jungle Movie favorite characters, then we'll say where we can find everyone and head out of here.
Sick.
Okay, so Jungle Movie, that's coming out in November, and it's going to be a two-parter, I believe, like an hour each, or
2
hopefully.
hours. Yep.
I want three. I want the Dr. Jago. I want the Dr. Jago of cartoons.
We take what we get. Hopefully it'll do well, and we can get more.
Wait a minute, so is the movie then split into like 2 parts? Like, part 1, and then next year is part 2. What is this?
Yeah, episodic.
It's gonna be like The Hobbit.
I'm like, this sounds like some freaking Infinity Wars stuff.
Yeah.
I can't put it in.
It's like 1 is enough.
I'm pretty sure it's 2 hours all at once, but with commercial breaks.
Yeah. So it's gonna be like 1:45 or 1:30 or something like that.
Okay, that's weird. I thought it's gonna be in movie theaters. Is it?
Oh,
it should.
No,
it's not. It's
they're not doing a theatrical release. I don't think they're gonna. I think they were reluctant to do a theatrical release of the Jungle Movie because of the first movie did so terribly.
If they made it a theatrical release, it would be awful. Like, I'm so glad they're not doing that because they would spend too much money and then it would bomb. It would.
Okay, yeah.
Like, there's not enough people to watch it in theaters.
Yeah, that's smart. Unlike the Emoji Movie.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out what the last Nickelodeon film was. Monster Trucks.
Yeah.
Never heard of them.
Monster Trucks is like a movie about monster trucks, but they're like monsters in the trucks powering them.
They're like squid things.
Okay.
It wasn't good. Let's put it that way.
I mean, like good. not a lot of Nick movies are that good.
They had a peak, and that was right before the Hey Arnold movie. The Rugrats did really, really well. And
well, like I would say, like the SpongeBob movie, Lemony Snicket.
That's true, SpongeBob, but
yeah.
And also like Tintin, that was the one. Tintin.
I don't think that did super well. It was a good movie.
It was a good movie, like.
But I don't think it did very well in theaters.
I've got the stats pulled up on the first Hey Arnold movie and its theatrical release.
Yeah.
Yeah, despite its minuscule budget, reported to be 3 to 4 million, Hey Arnold the movie was still considered a box office flop.
Aww.
The film only grossed 13 million domestically and worldwide a total of 15 million. Despite this being around 5 times its budget, the film wasn't considered as successful as other Nickelodeon films like the Rugrats movie, which made over 140 million worldwide.
What
Boo.
the?
Also,
So they
like,
had high expectations.
also
They had
like,
very, very high expectations for this movie.
Oh yeah, there's like they advertised it like a lot back then, like a bunch of marketing.
yeah.
There was
They-
there
they-
was a pretty decent marketing for the first Hey Arnold movie, but it still didn't do that well in theaters, and I think
Yeah.
that's why the team is reluctant to put the Jungle movie in theaters.
I mean, it's like have any of you like seen the actual theatrical release? I did. Like, not a lot of people in the theater, so
You
When it
went to the
came
theatrical
out-
release?
yeah,
When
I
it-
did.
When it came out, I was like 16. I was older then, and when the movie came out, it was like if you went and saw a cartoon, like a Hey Arnold cartoon in the theater, you weren't really respected. Like I didn't have any friends that liked it at that point.
Just
Mm.
grab the little sibling, like,
So-
oh, I'm only here for them.
Well, when you're 16 and you don't, or when you're 15, 16, you don't have a car to go to the movies and you can't really make your own decisions, you don't have friends to see it, you're not going to go see it. And I think that was the age and demographic back then. A lot of the fans had moved on at that point when the movie came out. I think that's a big part of
Yeah,
it.
I think it's like younger, like me, like when they played like reruns all the time when we were like younger, not when it was first released on like Nickelodeon. There was like a bunch of demographics on that with the reruns, like me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I also wanted to say really quick, Nick Films responsible for the Last Airbender movie, so they can't all be winners.
Not a good track record, Nick.
Yeah,
Oof.
it's like
Ouch.
like you guys like Avatar, right?
I like Avatar. I like the
La-
series,
Last Airbender? Heck yeah.
not the movie.
Yeah,
the-
that's what I was saying.
What movie?
Yeah, exactly.
We don't talk about it.
They used to have it on
Elf loves
Netflix. I kind of want to watch it again just to catch
What
the zeitgeist.
movie?
I'll
There was
well, that Nicolas Cage movie,
Never heard of
Okay,
that
so
movie.
guys want to talk favorite characters really quick?
Go around the circle.
It's Red Robin time, or is it Rockin' Robin?
It's Red Robin. No, Red Robin's when you go across the field and try and catch people.
Rockin' Robin.
Round
You
Robin.
mean Red Rover? Red Rover?
I guess.
Red Rover. Yeah, Red Rover, the one.
Red
where it's
Rover,
like
Red Rover. Yeah. Anyway,
I remember playing that.
We gotta
I'm
remember.
going last. I'm
somebody
going
start.
last because I'm going to talk forever.
Okay.
Okay, Becky, you want to say something?
Favorite character.
Just whatever comes to mind.
Helga is a good character because she's a good character, and I really don't. I'm not good at speaking. I'm sorry.
That's
It's
fine.
okay.
You've done really good this podcast, I think.
Helga's a pretty good candidate for favorite character. I mean, what draws you to her?
Probably the fact that she's kind of a jerk.
On the outside.
That's all I care about.
Fair enough.
I'm like, that's a good enough reason.
Ooh.
Okay, so Helga, Miki.
Oh, it's like I'm gonna be super basic because it's like Arnold is my boy, it's my boy, because it's like they made him. I mean, of course he's a boy, and sometimes he has his flaws, but the matter of fact is that they made like Arnold like develop. He's like, I don't know. There's another word for like a strong man, short man.
Strong man, strong man.
I think he's like a mid. He's about like most of the time, maybe like 80% of the series. He's like a middle ground man, like mid range, level-headed. He's very level-headed compared to like. He's like the base. It's like he's like the basic cable package, while the rest of the supporting cast are like the premiums. So it's like it's a good like standard for Arnold to set with like the rest of the supporting cast.
He's the
It's
moral
like-
compass.
Basically,
And he's really easy to bounce off of.
yeah.
Yeah.
Football head. Well, of course he's bounced well. He's a football head.
I used to have a football that was like flat on one side, so you could throw it against the wall and it bounced back to you.
That sounds like a New England Patriot football.
I like chewed on most of it, so.
Oh.
Are we good, Mickey?
Oh yeah, it's like well yeah, it's like that's just the thing with Arnold's characters that he made. It's like he's level-headed, and it's the fact that he's level-headed character compared to like the outrageous and possibly extra. Like the supporting cast is so extra. Let's not lie about that.
Sid, stop being so extra.
Eugene, stop no singing.
No.
Yeah, that's what I like
No
about
singing.
Arnold. Despite him being like a basic main character, it's the fact that he basically is a gateway to the rest of the cast.
He's the jumping point.
Yeah.
Springboard.
Nestle, then me, then we'll stop with Spec, and then do outros.
Huh.
Nestle?
Favorite character?
Yep.
I honestly can't decide between Helga and Arnold. I mean,
Ooh.
Helga is way more fleshed out, I think, as a character because she grows and develops, and you learn a lot more about her. She becomes less of a bully. Whereas Arnold doesn't really change that much aside from the daydreaming stuff in the early episodes, like I said before. But I mean, Arnold is just such a nice kid, and you can't not love him. And he's surrounded by utter madness all the time.
Like,
and
go ahead.
you gotta just admire him for like the patience and maturity he has. And I know when I was a kid, I really looked up to him as a kid. And,
yeah, me too. I don't know what happened.
But as an adult, I'm way more attached to Helga. Now that I'm mature enough to understand her character, her depth better. And of course, just watching them together is way too much fun and entertaining.
Yeah. Like, I would say there aren't enough good boys in media now. They're all like Bart Simpsons and stuff.
Yeah.
We need like good, like just polite young men.
Arnold really set the bar there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
it's
he's
hard
like
to make that not boring too.
Well, just make them idiots, but like polite idiots.
Yeah.
Arnold was a good character, and he didn't grate you.
Yeah, he was pleasant. He was a chill dude.
But he was dense as hell. Heck.
Like he's fine. He could be like Helga can be on her deathbed, and like declare Arnold, I love you, and he'd be like, he's also 80, so he's like what?
He reads half of the poem. H is for the head. I love to punt. He gets. I wonder who wrote that.
Helen. It was Helen, right?
Helen of Troy. Yes, and Miss Troy had a message for you.
No.
Okay. I think I've
some kind of fruit drink.
I paid $8 for grape juice.
Me too.
Grape juice and like grape juice and a little bit of cademy or something like that.
I paid $8 for some grape pop.
I'm like, that sounds like something you could get at Whole Foods.
Yeah, $8. Yeah, totally. And then you just dump it in the. Mine. Okay.
Yeah.
Mine is sadly, well, I'd say like Curly and Lila.
Curly, I knew.
I also like Nadine just because she doesn't get a lot of development, but I think her design is nice.
Nadine's cool.
The spider.
Yeah, like she does look like. I think that goes with her bug thing. Her hair looks like spider legs.
Yeah, and I'm hoping like a lot more kids that kind of got relegated to the back have some more screen time in the movie.
Oh god, yeah.
Like Lila gaining by plant, and maybe like Curly, like he like is in tune with all the animals and like runs and like saves them with a stampede.
Can we please see them swinging on a vine with monkeys? That's all I want.
I'm king of the jungle now.
Yeah, please. Like throughout the movie, it's like segments of Curly just chilling in the jungle.
Yeah, he meets the Thornberries.
Oh man,
that would be a twist. And then there's a movie based on that.
Oh
nice
man,
crossover.
Okay,
Curly is
we've seen this before.
Fave.
Yeah. Okay, and Lila just because I like redheads, and that's why. That's the entire point.
Shallow.
Hey, I like Eugene because he's a redhead, so I have to concur with Rye on that.
Yeah. Okay. So I know you're just pent up. You just want to talk about him so much. Go ahead, Spec.
My penultimate favorite character from this show is Mr. Simmons.
What? I thought it was ultimate.
Yes.
Is penultimate below ultimate?
But like last to ultimate, last to last.
Oh
Like
no!
second to last.
I
Oh,
don't know words. I'm sorry. I thought Penultimate was higher than Ultimate, but my all-time favorite character from this show, hands down, is Mr. Simmons. I strive to be so much like him in my personal life because, like I said earlier, he's kind, he's caring, he's gentle, he's loving, he's patient. Even though in a few episodes we saw he can get a little hot-headed.
Like the flood episode, that's a very nice episode for him, I think.
The flood episode hurts me so bad because he almost died.
But so did Helga.
Aw.
Helga in that episode, that was, oh my goodness.
Oh man.
Silly a little.
Oh man, I wonder who our new teacher gonna be.
He's not even dead yet.
It's gonna be Miss Slopjack. She's back.
It's-
Or Miss Pommelhorse, whatever her name was.
And I love him as a character
Throwback.
because he's one of the least developed in the entire show. And I think, I theorize it's because they were trying to avoid touching too much on his personal life because that would reveal too much about his character,
Ah.
Yeah.
which they couldn't do with him being a gay character on a kid's cartoon in the 90s of all times.
Yeah. How do you feel about the episode where he's principal for, or like, was it a day or like a week?
It was 2 weeks.
Oh dang.
I actually just watched that episode last night. That episode pains me. It hurts every single one of my feelings.
Why? I'm a little rusty on it. Can you like give a synopsis or just kind of touch the points on it?
Well, in the episode, Mr. Simmons is concerned that Principal Warts is being too strict and hot-headed with the kids. He's yelling at them too much. He's not treating them with any respect as people. And then the superintendent comes in, and Principal Warts gets all defensive, so he leaves his position as principal, and the superintendent's like, well, I guess we need a new principal. Do you want to do it? And this episode it really highlights his idealistic qualities because he's not authoritative. He really isn't. Even as a teacher, he doesn't put his foot down. The kids don't listen to him for more than a couple minutes at a time.
Yeah.
And the entire school falls apart in just 2 weeks.
It's
I have to applaud.
Wasn't Eugene in a cage? I remember that.
I think he was.
Oh my god, that's like a total Simpsons thing.
I have to applaud him for trying, but he's just too soft to be in a position of authority like that.
Yeah.
And I really liked A Day in the Life of a Classroom because we saw him get frustrated. We saw him get anxious. He almost said the F word and the S word.
Oh, we haven't done that yet. You want to do it right now? We are allowed 2 and 5.
Oh. Well,
I'm just pointing that out. If like anyone wants to slip up right now, it's fine.
Well, he did get so frustrated that in the same episode he almost said fuck and shit.
Oh, dang. Okay.
And I just wish he had been touched on more as a character. I've spent the last 2 years in my 3 years of the Hey Arnold fandom just developing him and doing whatever I wanted with him because if somebody's gonna develop him, it might as well be me.
That's really cool.
I think he got enough. I think he got a lot of character development. I mean, he had like at least 3 main episodes I can think of where that were solely based on him.
Yeah, he did. He did have a few episodes. I'm definitely not like trying to take away from those, but
You just want more.
I wish we could have gotten more in depth because I think the deepest that they did get with him was when we saw how dysfunctional his family was.
Yeah.
And like, there are some episodes we can just like get rid of because they kind of tread the same ground. Like a lot of the Rhonda episodes, a lot of the Harold episodes.
Yeah.
I want his backstory. That's what I want.
At Craig.
Honestly,
Maybe we'll get it.
I really hope so.
Oh, would it be weird if like no, never mind. Now, what if it would be weird? I'll say it. Like, what if like he was also a veteran and he was like in the veterans episode, and he was like a conscientious objector.
Oh my goodness! Wow, that'd be something.
Like they just meet him in
know-
Washington one day, or during the trip.
I know. In the last the 20th anniversary podcast, I had sent in a question about Mr. Simmons that Craig answered, and he said something along the lines of they never did a lot with developing him, but Craig imagined that he traveled a lot.
Ooh.
I
And-
assume he's in the Peace Corps. He was in the Peace Corps.
he would do that.
Who needs a Peace Corps?
That hippie.
If he, yeah, this guy is a hippie. There's no doubt about it. But if he's traveled the world, that's something I really want to see because that's cool. I never would have imagined that for his character.
Yeah.
And that about wraps that up.
Okay, let's see what we got on the itinerary. So, Jungle movie that's coming out in November. Hopefully, it's not too long between the parts. And I think that wraps up. Hey Arnold,
Woohoo!
how'd you guys?
Move it, football head.
Oh my God! I thought you said something else.
Move it along.
Oh, hey, kitty.
Oh, Prada's back. Okay, so let's wrap up. Where can we find our guests? The host of this show. You can find Fresh Rye at Fresh Rye at Twitter and Tumblr. You can find. Let's see. Let's start with Miki. Miki, you want to say where you're from? Where you can find you?
You can find me on Twitter at Mickey Bandy, and then on DeviantArt at Mickey Bandy. And that's like one of my two huge things. I could say Tumblr, but that's like a whole thing I have to type up. And I have a YouTube channel.
Yes, I get something just brought up in the chat. Nestle, we can talk about other 90s series we like. That was more for like just to see who else could be on like a different episode of this podcast. But if you guys want to talk about like, yeah, I was wondering if you guys want to say what other 90s shows you like, we can do it right now.
Sorry to interrupt you.
No, it's fine. Like I'd probably just make that clear.
Pardon.
So other 90s shows, I'm just a huge fan. That's why I started this podcast. So like, I'm gonna be trying to do. I'm just gonna try to do other stuff. Hopefully, I'm gonna say next 5 episodes are gonna be something like Rocco, Power Rangers, Ninja Turtles.
Yeah.
Maybe Sailor Moon.
Rangers.
Sailor
Oh,
Moon.
I could maybe.
And what else? I had another one. Goosebumps.
Rugrats.
Goosebumps. So if you guys are interested in that, you can just hit me up again, and we'll see if I can have you on the guest.
Oh,
Yeah.
kitty.
Sick.
Okay, so Nestle, you want to go next? You
What
can
was
say
I talking about?
you can say where they can find you, and maybe some other 90s stuff you like.
Sure, I'm on DeviantArt. That's my main dig. So it's literally just Nestle at DeviantArt.
Not Nestea or Nestle, but Nestle.
No, not with an E. It's like the chocolate, just spelled differently.
Like it's like
Wow.
having a nest like quality.
Never
Oh.
heard that one before.
I see where it's coming from. I appreciate the grammar joke.
Yeah.
Other 90s things, honestly, my biggest pick would be Gargoyles.
Ooh, that's a good one.
I know, that out of all the 90s shows I've ever binge watched, aside from Hey Arnold, that is the one that I go back to and I watch all the episodes of. It's very good.
I might have to
Other than
might have to pin a note on that one if I have to do that episode. I might bring you in.
Other than that, I'd say Batman, the animated series.
Oh, that's another good one. I actually have. How do you feel about Batman Beyond?
I love Batman Beyond, actually. I watched that when that was airing, and I remember really enjoying it. I did rewatch that maybe 5 or 6 years ago, and I never watched the movie, though.
Oh, Return of the Joker. That's a good one.
Yeah, I heard it's good. I skipped that one, though. But I did watch the entire series, in my adult life, and I did enjoy it. It was good.
Okay. Yeah. So Batman. That's good for you. So I'm gonna put a pin on that one.
Put a pin in it.
Boop. Mickey, you want to say some? We skipped you when we were talking about 90s stuff. You want to say what you like?
Man, I was like super spoiled with the 90s shows I watched. Definitely Power Rangers was a huge one. And it's like I know a lot about Power Rangers and the original Japanese counterpart too. That's how I'm into it. But yeah.
Yeah, the
like,
Japanese ones are nice. Like the older ones or like the newer ones?
I love the older ones better. I think the newer Sentais are garbage. It's just complete garbage.
Those are fighting words right there.
Oh,
That's just how I feel. It's like they're like weenies now.
I
all
like-
the new Sentais.
I like the pirate one, the pirate Sentai one. That one.
Go Kaija.
Go Kaija!
things heating
Holy
up on
crap.
the podcast.
It's like everyone. It's like Die Ranger, best because it's not even a Power. It's not even a Power Rangers counterpart. But yeah, like what's the another?
It's only Japanese only, I think.
Yeah, Die Ranger.
By the way, they're
Best.
bringing back. Like Shout Factory is bringing like the original series of like from Zoo Rangers to the original like Power Rangers one, right?
Yeah, I don't know.
They're bringing that one. They brought that one back. They're bringing back the older ones, like series by series of the original Japanese stuff.
Yeah, those are the best.
Yeah, so I want to check that out when it gets to the pirate one, which Miki doesn't seem to like.
I don't like the newer Sentais. I think the Power Ranger counterparts are actually better than the newer ones.
To each his own.
But yeah, 90s. Rugrats was definitely a huge thing too.
Oh yes.
Yeah, and might have to talk about that and probably like couple that with All Grown Up.
Yep.
I liked All Grown Up. I will admit that.
I had never seen most of All Grown Up. I vaguely remember it, but I mostly know about Rugrats. Let's see another 90s kid.
Let's do one more, then we'll move on to Spec.
Yeah. It's like Rugrats is one of them.
Calculates.
I don't know if I'm not gonna say SpongeBob counts because that was like in the end of the 90s.
Well, this is more like millennial, so like it can be 90s to late 80s, early 2000s, I'd say. So I'd say it
Thank
fits.
God I'm not that old.
So SpongeBob, okay. Ready, Spec, go.
Okay. You
You're
can find me.
you're being timed on this, so you got to be under 3 minutes.
Oh, okay. You can find me on Tumblr at Spectrum Bunny. That's my main, and my Hey Arnold blog is F yeah Hey Arnold fan art with dashes in between those words. F yeah dash Hey dash Arnold dash fan art. Yes.
Are you
that's
typing
how
that
I
in
said
right
that.
now?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, I'll put like links in the episode.
You can find me on DeviantArt at Spectrum Bunny, and that's really it. I'm DeviantArt and Tumblr. And my other 90s cartoons that I like.
Yeah. You're at a minute and a half.
I'm all about Doug. I really love Doug. So if anybody, yes, if anybody wants to hit me up about Doug, you can do that.
I might do that. Yeah.
Like Nick Doug or Disney Doug.
I like both. I'm playing devil's advocate here. I like both.
Ooh,
Oh.
spicy.
Now that we're mentioned Disney, Recess is a good one too.
Yeah, that's like a counterpart to Hey Arnold. I've had someone like on TV shows
Little
bring it
bit.
up. Like it's like more like less anxiety Hey Arnold, I think.
Yeah.
I remember that episode where I forget the black kid's name, but like his brother comes to town. He's like a total dork.
Oh yeah.
They had that weird handshake and like they did like the Vulcan salute.
Goodness.
We all thought that Vince's brother was so cool and he's a nerd.
Yeah, Vince, that's his name. Sorry to
Aw.
I had to clarify him as the black kid, but sorry.
That was like a trope in the 90s.
Yeah.
There was just like a
black character.
yeah, with a jersey. Oh, that Gerald has a jersey too. Conspiracy.
Yeah.
Well, hey, this was super fun, my dudes.
We got to get to Becky. Becky, you still with us?
Yeah.
So where can we find you, and what other '90s stuff do you like?
You can find me at roadsafety@deviantart.com. If there's a slash, sorry,
Dash mark.
dash mark between the R and the O at the start. And other 90s stuff, shows.
Yeah.
I don't really think I have any.
Oh no.
Well, what other stuff do you like? What can you like say you're a fan of?
Pardon.
Just anything in general.
Like I would say
things.
make cartoons or stuff. Like if you don't mind, I'm gonna bring up your application, see what's going on there.
Yeah, like Steven Universe or Gravity Falls or whatever.
Yeah, like you said, Steven Universe, Rick and Morty.
Yeah.
Anime.
Anime.
I'm honestly really bad at naming things that I like off the top of my head because I freeze up, so it's quicker for you to just list things off and I'll tell you if I like it or not.
Me too.
Yeah. Okay. So, anything else, Beck, or are we good?
I think we're good.
Okay, so that was the first episode of the Wacky Deli podcast. Ooh, Teen Titans Go. Crow, get out of here.
Crow,
Thanks for
stop.
having us.
Okay, so that was the first episode of the Wacky Deli podcast. Hopefully, next episode comes out. I'm gonna say I'm gonna try to space these a month so I can find people. Like, this was done in like about a week or two, mainly because I had actually a good source to find guests. This way, the next one is probably not gonna be it's not gonna be Heron related. So I'm gonna have to find some new guests, maybe find a new Discord to find guests. But hopefully we get something coming up. And I'm assuming this episode's gonna be edited in about say I'm gonna say 3 days or maybe a week because
Okay.
I don't have that much time, but I'll try and do something. I also got to find
Nice.
good music. I was thinking like you know how like Ren and Stimpy or SpongeBob would have like production music,
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
like
I mean, to think about that. Oh, yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
But I think that would be copyrighted on YouTube.
Lively
That
and
has happened to
happy.
me once.
No, I think production music's royalty free because they just used it.
I don't know because like I did a video with like something out of like Ren and Stimpy and SpongeBob, and that got ID'd. Man, how many F
You'll
words
be
do we have
fine.
left?
We only have one.
Fuck YouTube.
Yeah. Okay, stock music. Okay, cool.
Yeah,
I think I can
we-
do that. I think I can do that. I'll just have to look into it, and if it gets flagged, I'll just replace it.
Mhm.
Cool.
Yep.
Okay, I think that does it. So, see you guys next time for the Wacky Deli podcast. And remember, stay. That's also copyrighted. Stay,
Class dismissed.
Salutations.
Class Smith. There we go. Bye. And that's it. Okay, I'm going to stop recording right